Hi, my name is Sam. This is the Potager Knits podcast. I'm coming to you here from my garden once again on this kind of gloomy day, so fingers crossed the weather cooperates. It's actually a really comfortable temperature outside, and I'm hoping to squeeze in a run after this, but we'll see. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Potager Knits, on Ravelry at Orandrosamore. And you can find those links down in the description, as well as links to any of the patterns or yarns that I might talk about. So I'm going to jump right into finished objects. So the first one that I have is this ice cream pint cozy. The pattern is by Spun Nobody Co. I am so bad at pronouncing that, but Sultan. He created this. I saw him post it during the whole like ice cream and knitting thing that went on Instagram, and I was like, oh my god, I eat Talenti, and that's perfect. I want one of those because my hands always get so cold. This is perfect. I love using this, and yeah, I've been using it a lot. For this, I used some of the leftover Blue Sky Fibers wool stock that I made my hat pattern with, so yeah, that was a really good use of some of those extras. Next, I have another hat. So this is the second one of the of my design that I've made, the adventurer hat. This one, the difference is that I knit the pocket in garter stitch instead of stockinette, and I actually kind of liked that. I found that it's a little stretchier than the other ones, so I might modify and do that in the final pattern. But this one's for my stepmom. Like I said, my dad and stepmom are going to Alaska at the end of the month, and I wanted to make them hats to take with them that would allow them to easily stick it into their bag, like as temperatures change when they're switching from being out on a glacier and then going into the ship. It started raining. I don't know if you can hear that. Well, let's see how this goes. But yeah, so I picked this cranberry color and then gray, and I think it turned out really pretty. It's nice and subtle compared to the other one. The other one that I made had that like green yellow color. This one is a little more kind of reserved and subtle, so I really hope that she likes this. I know my dad, I gave him his already and he really liked it. So this is currently out to testers right now, and hopefully in the very near future. I believe the test ends at the end of next week, and it seems like everybody should be done by then. A lot of them are already done and they're turning out great. But depending on how that goes, in the next few weeks I should have this pattern out for everybody. So I'm really excited about that. I really love this pattern. I had a really great time designing it. So then I have one more finished object. Now this is a little bit different from what I've done in the past. I've always had kind of a hard time with spinning. I think I got myself in such a groove with knitting and crocheting because I've been doing it for so long that learning something new that's fiber related can be a little bit rough, especially if I'm not picking it up right away, because I'm like, but I'm an expert already. So I've had kind of a hard time with spinning. Last year I did manage to spin a whole single of, it was this fiber that had like shimmery stuff in it, and I knit myself like a headband with that. And then every time that I would pick up the drop spindle, I get so frustrated. But for some reason this week, it was a little bit of watching Farah or Tomboy Femme bags. She was doing a lot of spinning this week and was talking about it on the Knitting My Shit Together podcast, and I just was like, oh god, I want to do it again. I want to be able to do it. So I actually did manage to do one teeny tiny single here. It's a 1 ounce of alpaca and wool. It's 90% alpaca, 10% wool, and the roving was donated by Glow, and there is the alpaca. It's so cute. So the wool was dyed this dark blue, you can see it here, and then the alpaca was white, but when I went to soak it, it actually bled a lot, and I actually like it because now it's like this light blue with a dark blue bit. This is probably my best effort so far. It is very thick and thin. I know it's going to take a while for me to get past that, but I'm really impressed with this. I'm proud of myself for actually getting through it. And I'll be interested to see what I can do. Like I said, it's only 1 ounce, so it's not a lot, but it's still cool that I have this little finished product and I can use it. So that's all of my finished objects. I have a couple works in progress. I'm spinning more. This is the bag that I got from Samantha Mittelmeyer. It was from my Fibershare package. It's really nice because it has structured sides, so I'm keeping my spinning in here because I can stick my drop spindle out the top and it doesn't like completely topple over like some of the more, you know, soft-sided bags. So I have a ton of this just kind of tan naked fiber. I have a lot of this. I don't have a label for it or anything. I know that it's wool, but I got a huge bag of it a while back. And so I did a little bit of spinning on that. Like I said, not perfect and not like amazing or anything. And now I know it's really dark out here because the clouds rolled in, but yeah, this has been really cool learning how to drop spindle. I'm doing the park and draft method right now, especially because I'm just like sitting on my couch doing it. But I've gotten in a pretty good rhythm of doing that, so I'll probably do some more of this tonight. I'm trying to do at least a little bit of it like every other day or every day if I can, so that I can really start getting the motions down and figuring it out. So yeah, so I have this. I also have some magenta wool in there, but I'm a little concerned. I've had it for a while and I'm a little worried that it might have sat around and it seems a little felted, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to work with it that well, but I'm going to work with it a little bit and see if I can get it to work. But if not, this is probably the only stuff that I'll be buying for a while fiber wise, is a little bit at a time to try spinning, because I have plenty of yarn. I don't need to actually buy any more yarn right now. So I've been working pretty hard on my Hermione's Everyday sock. This has been my like work project. I've been taking it to work with me every day to work on when I'm sitting in meetings. Luckily, you know, my coworkers and boss don't really care, and it's a really good way for me to focus. I have a really hard time focusing in meetings because I always feel like I need to multitask and try to answer emails or if someone's trying to talk to me. So if I'm working on something small that doesn't require a lot of like reading patterns and stuff, then I tend to do a little better. And so Hermione's Everyday Socks, it's a nice like four row repeat that I don't have to think about a lot. That's how far I am in that. Just working on the foot now, so it's just repeats going around, so I foresee this being done in the next week. Thunderstorm. And then I'm also working on my weekender sweater. So this is probably the easiest I'll be able to show it for a while. So I've gotten to the point where I've split for the front and back at like the top part of the sweater. So I'm now on 2 needles, which is why I can actually show the whole thing and it's not just all bunched up like it was before. That's going really great. I've been really enjoying knitting this the past couple days, like when I'm sitting on the couch watching TV. It's very mindless, and I'm trying to remind myself, I don't want to say force myself because I am enjoying working on it, but remind myself that I really want to get this done by the fall, and it's already August, so really want to keep it moving, trying to get this sweater done so that I can wear it when it gets chilly. So acquisitions. I only have one acquisition because like I said, I'm not really buying yarn for the foreseeable future. So I've got my Darn Good Yarn box for this month. I think I just got it yesterday. So this is Twist Sport Weight silk yarn in Dragon's Tail, and it's 50 grams, 150 yards. I really love the colors on this. I think it's really cool. It's just this like twisted 2-ply multi kind of deal. Once again, it's sport weight, 150 grams or 150 yards. So it's still not a lot, but I do think that I can figure out something to do with this. So I'm excited to find something to work with this. And then I found it really funny. I've been talking about how I need to go run to a yarn store, not to buy yarn, but to buy wool soak, because I've started washing our socks by hand. And that's what the extra little gift in the box was this month. So it's just, they just call it yarn laundry soap. And it's vegan, cruelty-free, and pet-friendly, which is good. But the scent is sandalwood and patchouli, which, if you've heard me talk about it before, those are my 2 least favorite scents. But I'm willing to try it. You know, it's 2 ounces. I will definitely get some good use out of this. My wife does like the sandalwood patchouli scent, so she'll like how her socks smell. And then when I'm done with this, I'll probably go get some soak in either fig, yuzu, or one of the other scents that I really like. So I can live with this for now, though, especially since I already have it. I don't want to let it go to waste. So for Delightful this week, just to remind you, Delightful is my little podcast within a podcast where I talk about things that I find really interesting or that have brought me joy in the past week. And I'm going to talk about notebooks, which might seem funny, but like notebooks and art journaling, which is something that I've been interested in for a while. So the reason I thought to talk about this is I've been using this notebook for a little while, since last year, as my take notes, write down stuff I'm thinking about, brainstorm, lists for when I need to get stuff done around the house, but it's falling apart. You can see it's taped up, like large chunks of pages are just coming out, and it's kind of been time to get rid of this for a while. So this new little notebook that I have all of my show notes in for today is going to be my new notebook, and I decided that because I've not wanted to carry the big notebook around with me, so this seems more reasonable to carry with me. And I do like it so far. I've written a couple things in it previous months, but I think this will be nice to get back into journaling, art journaling, that kind of stuff. I do have one other notebook that I use a lot, and it's this one. And this is my little design notebook. So it's a little sketchbook that I got from a local, it's called Story Supply Co. And I've really enjoyed using this. It's a nice little small sketchbook. It fits right into my project bag, so I can carry it with me anywhere. I'm starting to get wet, but I'm gonna persevere. I can carry this with me anywhere. But what I really want to get back into is art journaling. So I really want to make sure I protect this. This is my art journal from when I was in college. There's a lot of stuff in here that's really cool. I was a little more prone to doing creative things. Here's a mandala. I think I copied it and then I just like colored it in. Like I found a picture and I just drew it in my notebook and colored it in. And I've also really always been into collaging, so I just find things that kind of go together and put them in my notebook. And I still do that. I get a lot of magazines nowadays, and I'll cut out things that I think look cool and then try to collage with them. Can you see how much it's pouring? So there's another one that I really liked. But the other great thing about this art journal, I wrote in it when I was in therapy because my therapist asked me to write 3 pages a day. And that helped me a lot kind of sort out my feelings. And this is the journal that I was writing in when I realized that I was gay. There's a lot of confusing feelings, a lot of conflicting things. There's a lot of issues that I had at the time that led to me having such a hard time trying to figure out how I felt about my sexuality. But I just think it's great that I have this still, and it's beautiful, and I can go back in it and say, wow, like, this is how far I've come. This is from 2012. It's 2019. Like, even just in that span of 7 years, I've come so far. And yeah, I just find it wonderful writing in journals and being able to go back to it. I'm definitely not the kind of person who's going to save every journal that I've ever written in, but like this one I'm definitely keeping because I think it's really important to be able to look back on that part of my personal history. And this one I'm keeping because I actually wrote in it when I was planning our little impromptu wedding, which I'll probably talk about more in October because that'll be our 1-year wedding anniversary. But yeah, it was very special to have memories like that and be able to look back and see growth. So art journaling is delightful. So I'm just going to try to ramble quick. I'm fairly shaded, but if it starts pouring too much, the balcony does start to flood, and I don't want to be flooded on. So I am throwing my stuff inside, at least, so that I don't have to worry about all my knitting getting wet. I can get a little wet, that's fine. Don't think I'm going to go for a run in this, though. I can handle some amount of running, but not that much. So first, since we're out here, I wanted to talk quick about my garden as it starts to pour more. So this is the most that it's rained. Like this week it's been on and off raining a lot. But for the past few weeks it hasn't really rained at all. So the garden has been doing a little rough. I just got sprayed. Oh, now it's pouring. Alright, I've given, so just so you have some reference, that little corner, it's like the offshoot of our roof. So anytime it starts to pour, it just fucking fills up the whole balcony because it all comes out there. I'm going inside. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's a big bug on the wall. You see it? What is that? Oh, it's a cicada. It's a cicada. I find cicadas so fascinating. They're really loud, but they're so cool. Kind of bums me out because I did really want to run today, obviously, since I'm like all ready, but screw it. I'm getting through the ramble part, so I'm gonna ramble. So while I'm still in front of my garden, it's been doing rough. The tree is fine, but the little herb thing here, it's been having a hard time. It hasn't really been getting enough, it hasn't been getting enough water, which is partially my fault. A lot of the stuff in here is doing okay, but it's a little more protected. It's a little further back from the sun. But it's been hot, so they're having a hard time. And specifically, you can't see this in the video, but right here is this huge tomato plant. This is actually a heirloom tomato plant. It's the first heirloom that I've ever planted. But it's having a hard time with the heat and then sudden rains. So, unfortunately, this tomato that I picked today is cracked. I've never seen one spiral cracked like this. Like, it just goes all the way up. So, it's unfortunate. I'm probably not going to eat this because it got kind of squishy. And there is, like, breaches. It's not just sealed all the way. And I think there's another one out there that is also cracked. I've got some empty pots because I already had to take out some plants that were struggling so much that it just wasn't worth it. So I have other seeds that I have planted, or that I have germinating, that hopefully, if there's like a nice day this weekend, I can plant some of them outside. So running. Yeah, I've been trying to run a little more consistently. Last week just wasn't happening just because of a bunch of stuff that was going on. This week I've run 3 times. No, 2 times. This would have been my 3rd time, but ain't happening. I don't mind running in rain when it's just like sprinkling, because it usually feels kind of nice, especially because I get so hot. But I wear glasses, so even just for that I wouldn't be able to see. Sorry if this is shaky. I'm trying to hold on. Yeah. What else? I'm just ready for fall, guys. That's why I'm drinking this cider that I have. It's local apple cider. I just want it to be autumn. That's why I've been knitting my sweater so much. So I'm just ready for autumn. Although this nice rainy weather is really making me happy. I love the rain. I love it. Anyway, so I think that's all I've got today. I'm probably gonna go, maybe, I keep saying I'm gonna go clean, but I don't know that I'm gonna clean today. I think I'm just gonna go knit my sweater or my socks. Maybe keep the door open so I can listen to the rain. Just enjoy my Friday. So I hope you all are having a good day. I hope you all are making some cool stuff, and if you like this, if you like watching my podcast, then like, comment, subscribe, share, tell all your friends. So yeah, have a great week, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye!